Good morning Year 4 and welcome to your first home learning maths lesson. This video is going to be targeted at the children which have got the Year 2 booklet. So if you've got your home learning maths pack and it can say Year 2, this video is for you. Now each day we're going to complete just one page. So for this lesson you're going to turn to the first page in your booklet. You can see that you've got the contents page here. This is going to be our learning for today. Now our learning is going to be based on numbers and a place value. We're going to be looking at some of the numbers and interpreting them into words. So we're going to be looking at them and writing the numbers as words, or we're going to do the opposite and we're going to be reading the words and writing them as numbers. We're also going to be looking at our place value chart. So we're going to be drawing them on our whiteboards or on some piece of paper so that you can interpret them in different ways. We can also draw our numbers, remember, so we're going to do that as well today. Now, we've got 3 sections to work through today. The first section is here, section 1, and we're going to write the numbers, words, as numbers. So we're going to read and then we're going to write them as numbers, because at the moment they don't show numbers. We need to read what they are first. Now I'm going to start off with number 1. And I've written that a little bit bigger for you so you can see on my whiteboard here at home. Here is the word that you can see on the first question. Now here you'll recognise what I've put in, and these are my sound buttons. So we are linking in literacy to this lesson, and we are linking in phonics. If we've got a line here, this means that it's a sound that we are familiar with. For example, the T and the H make a sound. Can you make that sound for me now? Okay, so it's the T and the H and it makes a sound. Your tongue should come right up to your teeth and you should be making the th sound. The T and the H make the th sound. Next, we've got another sound, and it's from the I and the R, and that makes another sound. Can you make that sound for me now? That sound should be the sound. So far we've got 2 sounds. We've got th. Okay, so I've blended them together to make th. When we get to a dot, that means that it's just one sound on its own, and it's the t sound. We don't say T because that's not the sound that it makes when it's written. It makes the t sound. So let's blend these together. T, third. Okay, that's how far we've got so far. Next, we come on to the next part, which has got a sound because it's a line, and it's got 2 E's on it. If it's got 2 E's, it makes a sound. Can you make that sound for me now? Okay, so it should be the E sound, E. So we've got t, E. And then the final sound is one on its own, and we don't say n because that's not the sound that it makes. It makes a n sound. So we're going to blend this all together and then we should recognise which number we are reading. T, E, N. 13 is the number. Now, it's sometimes tricky and you could get confused with the number 30. But it's not. We've got this sound at the end, so we can't forget that. We've got 13. So 13. We need to write 13 in numbers, okay? So I'm going to use my place value chart. And I've made one here. So I've got my tens and my ones column. I'm going to draw the number 13 first. So I've got 1, 10. So that's 10. And 13 has got 10, 11, 12, 13. That's how 13 should be represented. So you've got a 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, how many 10 sticks can you see? Just one. So in my tens column, I'm going to have the number 1. How many ones can you see? 1, 2, 3. 3 ones. In my ones column, I'm going to write the number 3. Now you can see that the 1 and the 3 makes the number 13. Okay, so we are going to write in our books the number 13 because we've read it in the word, which was here, and we need to put that into numbers. So we're going to do 13. Now the next two you are going to do either on your own or with somebody who is with you. Use the chunking, use the sound buttons that we have done and think of the sounds that they make. Keep referring back to the sounds and do it one at a time and it will make it much easier for you to do. I'd like you to start with section 1 now and then you can pause the video. When you have completed all of those 3, then you can resume the video and we'll move on to section 2. Okay, so section 2, we are now going to do the reverse, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to see what number is there and we're going to write it as a word, okay? So here is your section. You've got 6 of them to do this time, so you've got double the amount from before. But you're going to read whatever number that is and you're going to write it as a word. So I'm going to do the first one for you. I'm going to use my place value chart again. So let's get rid of what was on there. Here's my blank place value chart with my tens column and my ones column. The number that I can see is a 2 and a 0. So I've got 2 tens and 0 ones. To draw this, my tens are represented as 1 stick. So 1 10 is there, but I haven't got 1 10. How many have I got? I've got 2, so I need 2 sticks. And we're going to jump up in our tens. 10, 20, 20. Have I got any ones? Can I draw any ones on there? No, I can't draw any ones on there because there is nothing in that box. This is just a placeholder. It needs to go there because if we got rid of the 0, what number can you see? The number would be 2, but that's not the number that's showing. So we need to keep that 0 there and it keeps the numbers in the right place. So the number I can see there is 20. So I'm going to say this a couple of times. I'm going to think about what my mouth is doing when I'm saying the word. So let's have a go together. 20. Okay, how did we start off with a 20? So with my other board, I'm going to start writing down how I am saying that word. 20. So I started off with the t sound. So I'm going to write on my board t. And then my mouth changed. I use the w. 20. So then I use an e. I use the e sound. Okay, so now I'm on the n sound. 20. T. Now some of you might go t, and then it's the e sound that we looked at previously in the video, which we'd put like this. That would be our e sound, but that's not how we spell 20. It's made by using just one letter, which creates the same sound as 2 e's, and that's just using the letter y. So we can see there t, w, e, n, t, e, 20. So the first one has been done for you. So I started off with my place value chart and I wrote the numbers that I could see in my book. Then I represented it using my base 10. So that is, base 10 is when you draw a stick for a 10, or let's say that this had a number 3 in there, then I would do 1, 2, 3, and I'd count it that way. Then what I started to do was say the word, recognising what sounds am I making, which brought me to write down 20. And that is the first one that has been done for you. You're going to complete the other 5, and then we're going to come back to our final section of today's learning for your maths. Okay, so if you have completed both sections, we are on our final section of today's learning, and it comes back to this part here, our representations, and they are represented in your books as well. This is what we call base 10. Those are our 10 sticks, and these are our ones. However many 10 sticks you can see, that's however many units go into your tens column. And however many ones you can see is how many go into your ones column. So let's have a look. One has already been done for you. Let's have a look at the example that's been done for you. We've got 1 10 stick. So we know that's got 1 10 stick. So in my place value chart, I'm going to write in my tens column 1. Now, how many ones could I see on there? How many blocks are on their own? We've got 1, 2, 3. So there was 3 in the ones column. Okay. Can anybody tell me what that number is? Okay. And it actually comes back to the very beginning, the very first thing we did. And it was this number. It was the number 13. Okay, so this one has been done for you. So you, instead of counting each individual block, you know that 1 full block, 1 strip equals 10. So here, that would be 10, 20, 30, 30, add 1 block will be a 3 and a 1, 31. And you're going to complete the rest of the booklet by yourself. That is it for today's learning. Please make sure that you do take a picture of your work and you email it into the Year 4 email address. That means that I can check your work, check for any mistakes, or if you need any extra support tomorrow. Thank you very much and well done.